There is no mountain higher than Swirl Mountain. No valley too low, no ocean too deep. No climb is met with greater adversity than the steep climb of Swirl Mountain. Most that attempt to climb are doomed to fail. Surviving bottom shelf Brad, case number 17. Former NFL great and former New York Jets star receiver Al Toon's daughter, Molly Toon, was murdered by white husband Royce Lillard.
Very sad stories for you tonight, and NBC 15 News has learned tonight a standout athlete who played for Middleton High School and the University of Michigan has been killed in an apparent murder-suicide in Scottsdale, Arizona. Scottsdale police identified the victim as 28-year-old Molly Elizabeth Lillard, and by checking online records, NBC 15 has determined her maiden name was Molly Toon, and she is the daughter of former Badger Al Toon and his wife Jane. A tweet from Wisconsin longtime sports writer Rob Reichel confirms this tonight, calling it, quote, a terrible, terrible story, and calling for prayers for the Toon family. Scottsdale police say her husband, Toon's husband, 36-year-old Royce Dale Lillard III, has been identified as the suspect, and he died of a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Police say the couple's 8-month-old child was there at the time but not harmed. Molly Toon graduated from Middleton High School in 2010.
Al Toon was very accomplished. He was a 3-time All-Pro in NFL. In 1986, he was the AFC Player of the Year. In 1988, he led the NFL in receptions. He's listed on the all-time 4-decade team for the New York Jets. And he's also the King of Honor for the New York Jets. Al Toon finished his NFL career with 517 receptions and 6,605 receiving yards. He also scored 31 touchdowns while he was in the NFL. He was married with 1 son and 3 daughters before this tragic murder happened to his daughter Molly Toon at the hands of Royce Lillard. The Daily Mail is reporting that daughter of New York Jets hero Al Toon is shot dead by her husband, Royce Lillard, in front of their 8-month-old baby before he turned the gun on himself. Molly Lillard was shot dead next to her husband in an apparent murder-suicide. Police believe Royce Lillard III, 36, killed her before turning the gun on himself. The coward's death came after an hours-long standoff with police at his Arizona home. The 8-month-old baby was in the home but was not injured, police said. Molly took after her father, New York Jets legend Al Toon, and became a standout volleyball player both at high school and at the University of Michigan. Police say the coward Royce had barricaded himself inside the family home when police arrived. After an hours-long standoff, SWAT entered to find him dead. His wife was also taken to the hospital, but she was pronounced dead, having succumbed to her injuries. According to Facebook, the couple married over 2 years ago in 2018. Police said they responded to reports of a shooting in East Scottsdale at around 5 p.m. on Sunday, and found a woman with gunshot wounds in front of her house. As she was taken to the hospital, the shooter, Royce Lillard, who police said was the victim's husband, went back inside their house. At that point, officers were unable to communicate with the shooter, Royce Lillard, for a number of hours. A SWAT team entered the couple's home at around 10:45 p.m. on Sunday, where they discovered the husband, Royce Lillard, had died from an apparent self-inflicted gunshot wound. For several hours, officers attempted to establish communication with the white male, with no success, according to Scottsdale Police Department officer Kevin Watts. At approximately 10:45 p.m., SWAT officers were able to make entry into the home where the white male suspect was discovered deceased from what is believed to be a self-inflicted gunshot wound. The couple's 8-month-old child was not hurt in the incident and is now being cared for by other family members. The identity of the victim, Molly Lillard, was later confirmed to be that of 28-year-old Molly Toon, daughter of Jets legend Al Toon. Police said the investigation into the incident is ongoing. At this point in the investigation, all indications are that this was a murder-suicide, according to Officer Watts. At this point, police say they can confirm that the couple's 8-month-old child was present at the time of the incident, but that the child was not injured and currently is in the care of the family. Writing for the Middleton Times, Rochelle said on Monday that the Toon family was widely considered the first family of Middleton. Molly, whom Toon shared with his wife Jane, had 4 siblings also involved in athletics. Her brother Nick was a former University of Wisconsin and NFL player, and sisters Kirby and Sydney, who also played volleyball at UW. Speaking to the Wisconsin State Journal, Franco Marcos, her girls' volleyball coach at Middleton, said he was told Monday about the death of his former player. Coach Marcos says, "I coached her prior to high school, in a club season, and then 4 years in high school." Marcos said in a telephone interview, "Knowing the family and Al, it's really hard to hear a story like this. It's sad. I really don't know what to say. It's such a tragic loss, and the way it happened." Speaking to the Middleton Times, Laura Wilkinson, a 2010 MHS graduate and a volleyball teammate of Molly Toon, said she was in absolute shock. "Molly was such a good person, such a light in this world. It feels like things like this shouldn't happen to good people. I really looked up to Molly both on and off the court. On the court, the thing I will remember the most about Molly is how she was such a strong leader, so mature, tough, and inspirational." Molly Toon was a 4-year varsity letter winner during her time at Michigan University, and she received an All-American Honorable Mention recognition from the American Volleyball Coaches Association as a senior in 2013. During her time at Middleton High School, from which she graduated in 2010, the volleyball team won 60 consecutive conference matches between 2005 to 2009 and is considered one of the finest volleyball players in the school's history. The suspected murder-suicide is the latest domestic violence-related homicide in Arizona, which has seen numbers rise during the COVID-19 pandemic. In Phoenix alone, there has been more than 175% increase in murder-suicides in 2020 compared to 2019, according to 12 News Arizona. Our prayers go out to Al Toon and his family. I can't help but wonder as time goes on and more bodies pile up in the graveyard of Swirl Mountain, why do they get the worst of white America, but white America gets the best of black women? When will the Swirl concubines, misandrous mammies, and male feminist cucks speak out against anti-black domestic violence?